KILR Killer Games.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to the tour around the world featuring Terminal Reality's Fly 2. Well, the weather has certainly turned for the worse. It is getting heavier, as we can hear, a bit stormier, and we have a little bit of a flight ahead of us. We are flying from Waterloo to Dubuque. Same flight plan that we have done on the other simulators. We're doing that here as well. That was pretty bright. That was very cool, though. But yeah, so we're doing the same thing here. You get to see that same leg of the world tour right here in Fly 2, just as it's been done in the other simulators. So, hey, let's jump into the plane and let's get going. I think we'll switch aircraft when we get to the next airport. All right, so Dubuque is 75 miles away. That took a bit. All right. Flight service could be on 112 or 122. I'm not sure which one. We'll see here. Clearance delivery. Huh. There's not one for... Try that one.
KALO radio 412 Tango Victor. Would you open my IFR flight plan at this time? 412 Tango Victor. KALO radio. We have you off at 0230 Zulu, and we'll open your flight plan at this time.
This allows you to look up localizers and stuff too, which is kind of nice.
KALO ground 412 Tango Victor. 412 Tango Victor. KALO ground loud and clear.
I like how their conversations don't exactly complete. They don't finish.
2 Tango Victor, ready to taxi. 2 Tango Victor, KALO ground. Taxi to runway 24 and hold short.
24.
2 Tango Victor, roger. Taxi to runway 24 and hold short.
Now the question is, where is runway 24? It's off in this direction over there. I think that might be it there in front of us. You know what the lightning sounds like? It sounds like the old-fashioned lightning that they did in the old horror movies. It sounds like that same type of lightning. Like classic Frankenstein lightning. He's alive! Alive! Yep, this is runway 24.
Victor KALO ground. Contact tower at 118.10. 2 Tango Victor Roger. Contact tower at 112 Tango Victor KALO ground. Good day.
Switch over to tower here. And we're going to save this as a precaution.
KALO tower 412 Tango Victor request takeoff clearance. 412 Tango Victor KALO tower cleared for takeoff. 2 Tango Victor Roger cleared for takeoff.
Uh-oh. The storm is nasty. It's making the runway disappear. So what I like about these old simulators is using your imagination. You know, not everything is handed out to you. You gotta... You know, it's like being a kid again. You know, you had simple little things, but you used your imagination to kind of fill in the gaps and stuff. We should get contacted by ATC here soon. There it goes.
KALO tower contact departure at 118.90 today. Tango Victor KLO Tower. Did you copy?
Did you copy?
Tango Victor Roger. Contact departure at 118.90. KLO departure 412 Tango Victor. Request vector information waypoint. 412 Tango Victor KLO departure. Turn left heading 089. Tango Victor Roger. Turn left heading 089.
089. So I get the heading bug there. It's a little slow. You got to like hold on to it. Okay. Alright, we are on our way to Dubuque. Now, Dubuque, Iowa is sitting right next to the Mississippi River. Unless you're in Flight 2, it doesn't have a river. Uh-oh. The little menu that was up here to save is gone. That means if this thing crashes, we're going to lose. Autopilot is struggling a little bit. I know. Uh-oh. I figure I'll save it like every 15, 20 miles or something. Maybe every 10 miles. Yeah, the idea of the world tour, they are small airports, big airports, some that have paved runways, some that have grass runways, and it's pretty much just kind of going around through the state, in and around, like that. So it's not like the thing that I'm doing with VATSIM, the VATSIM Ventures, where the flights are longer. These are a little bit more shorter, and part of the flight plan is based off of Flight Simulator 2, because the scenery is limited on Flight Simulator 2. So I don't want to be using a later simulator to go to airports that Flight Simulator 2 cannot, like, you know, in the Chicago, I.O. area and stuff like that. So I use that as a base to a certain point. And then Flight Simulator 2 and 3 will go a different direction, whereas 4 and the ones on up continue on their path, and eventually they will come back down and meet up where they left off with Flight Simulator 2 and 3. So to give you an idea, Flight Simulator 2 and 3 followed this same exact flight plan, and then they got to La Crosse, Wisconsin. They can't go any further north because SubLogic never made the scenery, never made that scenery disc, which is scenery disc number 10. 8 and 10 they never made. So Flight Simulators 2 and 3, Commodore 64, Amiga, they then go east. They go back east along the Flight Simulator 2 map, and wind up going to Milwaukee, and then back down south to Chicago, and then over Lake Michigan. And then Flight Simulators 4 on up, they continue north through Wisconsin, over into Minnesota, back to Wisconsin, Michigan, and then where I left off, they'll be going into Canada. And it's going to go all the way north into Canada, into Nunavut, all the way up to Alert, the furthest northern part north that you could go. Come back down, go through the Northern Territories and around, hit a few of the Canadian provinces, and come back down into, I think, North Dakota, and it will be working its way back to La Crosse, and then we'll follow the same exact flight plan that Flight Simulator 2 and 3 were already doing. Meanwhile, ProPilot can follow Flight Simulators 4 on up until it gets to the point of Canada, and then what I'll be doing there is taking a long flight to go to the airport in North Dakota that eventually the other ones will meet up with. Very confusing, but yeah, that's how I have it worked out in my head. And the flights are mainly going to be general aviation. I'll switch them off a little bit here and there depending upon how long that flight is. But most of it is just to enjoy, you know, the actual, you know, the sit back and relaxing type of aspect of the flight. Kind of going in the right direction here. Not sure if that's correct or not. That definitely can't be right. So I thought I had Dubuque. Hold on, I don't. There we go. Getting Dubuque tuned in here on Nav 1. Yeah, we're heading directly for it. So, the idea behind the whole world tour is to go around the world, and not just the major airports, but all the stuff in between. And, you know, not every single airport, obviously, but, you know, all the little ins and outs and stuff. And the World Tour has expanded to what it is. Originally, I was only going to do it on a few simulators. And then I decided to expand them to all of these simulators to really experience what it's going to be like to travel around the world and what it's going to look like with all these different simulators. Which ones will... You know, how would they be depicted with each of the simulators? Will some areas be pretty decent and others not? Custom content. You know, will we find custom content for certain areas that really make it look nice? Will we be creating content along the way, which I've done? So yeah, it's a big thing. And there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's been some pre-planning that I've been doing with Flight Simulator 4, trying to get it ready. Because in the Canada area, there's a lot of stuff that's not covered. So I have to create the airports, the navigational beacons, and all of that. And speaking of X-Plane 11, if you've seen those videos of the World Tour, it's a bit behind. But I have a documentary at the end of the flight. So we do the flight just like this. But once we land at the airport, then it turns into a documentary about where I show pictures of the real airport and what it looks like. We talk about the airport itself, go into town and learn about what is actually there. You know, if we flew to, let's say, Dubuque, what would we do at Dubuque when we got there? Would we just go to the airport and take off again, or, you know, what would there be? What would we see and be able to do at Dubuque? What makes Dubuque special? And those are the type of things that I've done at the end of the X-Plane 11 videos for the World Tour series. And it fell behind because, well, it took time to put that together. You know, and speaking of which, imagine once Flight Simulator 2020 comes out, and me doing the same exact flights with that, the same exact flights here on that. Imagine how that's going to look. You know, and it's also about reliving old memories and developing new memories. Originally, this is just something I thought I was going to do on my own, and then I thought, hey, why not share that with other people, so that way others can enjoy this tour around the world, and be able to experience it in the way that I'm experiencing it, whether it's bringing back old memories of their own, or perhaps making new memories, sort of like, oh wow, I've always wanted to see this done with this particular simulator. So that's what has made this, that's what has built up this World Tour into what it is, where it's one of the major features on the channel. Yeah, that is going to be interesting. You know what would be great, though, is if Flight Simulator 2020 is so detailed that you could actually take a car and actually drive. Probably won't be that much, but wouldn't that be kind of cool if you could, if it was built that well that you could drive from one city to another? And then something else that has also kind of developed from this World Tour, since I'm getting add-ons and expansions and stuff that I never had before. I didn't get one back in the day. So I'm enhancing the simulators in ways that I didn't do originally. Plus, that's going to be spawning off into doing reviews of that software. So that way, people out there that are looking to build their collection can look at it and say, you know, hey, is this worth getting? You know, is this worth getting? Is that airliner pilot worth getting? Yeah, so there's a lot. There's a lot of thought that's behind all of this, and a lot of things that are interconnected that I can do. What I really like about the roads in X-Plane is that they actually look like roads. You could actually drive from one city to another, except I don't think those roads have I don't think they have a surface. So I think you would just, if it goes up, I think you'll just drive right through it unless the terrain goes up. But like, I've taken a plane and I've landed it down on the road, so well, one of the first things I did with X-Plane 11, I took it in and flew down low where the freeway was at and kind of landed. Alrighty, Frozo. Good having you with us. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of the show. I have on X-Plane, I have the Sky Harbor Airport. It's by that one Arthur, and I forgot his name. It's in the X-Plane X-Plane.org, not the store, but you know, the custom content files. Man, it's like his name is on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. But yeah, I've got that airport, which really looks nice. I did a flight. I had done a test flight. I think I still have the footage. I just haven't put it up on the YouTube. But I did a test flight from, I think it was Los Angeles to Phoenix. And because I was testing out the 737 because I hadn't flown it yet. And it turned out okay. Now I'll probably be coming back later on to do some more classic flying, and I'm actually gonna go back to X-Plane 6 and just do a random flight. I've been wanting to do that flight around Manchester. So we'll check out X-Plane 6 and flying from somewhere and going to Manchester. I think I was going to do like Paris to Manchester, I think that's what I was going to do. So for those who are watching and would love to see some classic X-Plane, be sure to keep it tuned in here to the Killer Gamer channel on Twitch. And follow, that's important. So that way you get notifications. You see, I'm on Windows 10, and the classic, I have to play the classic X-Planes on Windows 10 because of the recording software. It doesn't mix very well on Windows 7. So since I'm here on Windows 10, I figure I'll just do that X-Plane flight there. And naturally, I was on Windows 10 earlier today because I was doing that P3D flight. So, just stayed over here. Figured, hey, I'll go online, do some streaming because I need to record some more episodes of this. See, so not only are you a part of the show, but you are seeing flights that are not going to be coming up for the next several months. So that is one of the benefits of following me here on Twitch, is you get to be part of the show. Sometimes I will record this stuff offline, but other times I'll record it and stream at the same time, giving you all a chance to be an actual part of the show and see this footage weeks and months ahead of time. And then when it finally does get released on YouTube, you can be like, I was there. I was there. I was there when it happened. And plus you get to see this in its raw, unedited form. So, like the stuff where we had all the technical glitches and it crashed and all that other stuff, all that stuff is going to be cut out. So, I mean, this kind of like gives you a chance to, you know, like hang out with me as I'm recording these episodes, you know? You're kind of with me as I'm working, I guess. Yesterday, I installed the TikTok app to my phone. I am thinking of some ideas to work on as far as doing some short little videos and stuff for TikTok. just kind of trying to spread out when it comes to social media. I've been watching the amount of hours that I've been spending when, whoa, that was close, when streaming, and it's almost equating itself to an actual full-time job. There was one day I streamed for 8 hours. Earlier today I streamed for almost 4 hours. By the time I get done here, it'll be 3 hours later on. So yeah, I'm putting in almost as if I was, you know, working a full-time job. This is going to be my full-time job. But, you know, like all forms of art, sometimes it takes a bit before you can actually start supporting yourself and your art. You know, sometimes it takes time before you can be able to do that. And you know, that's my hope. That's what I'm hoping to do. Yeah, you know what? One of the ideas that I had for the TikTok is yeah, those little clips where things go wrong. Yeah, I definitely have some ideas to share in regards to flight simulation. But I've also got some new ideas that I'm thinking of to put there on TikTok as well, that are not necessarily gaming related.
Contact tower at 118.10. Good day.
But it's amazing of how much work and time you have to really spend to keep up with all the social networks and doing the streaming, doing original content and stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. There's a lot to do. But I'm at a point now where I'm gonna go for it. I don't have really anything to lose at the moment. $18 miles until we get to the airport. That's a lot of thunder. Yeah, I thought about that too. Because we've got 3 cats. And definitely have some funny things that we can do. The view out the window looks pretty cool. November 412 TV. Oh yeah. No, I am gonna be. When I first started the KILR game reviews, I wanted to do at least 1 a week. And then I was going to expand that to 2 a week. 1 would be Flight Simulator based, and 1 would be something else. But then I had these other ideas that I wanted to do. The game reviews, I try to put a little bit more work into it as far as fully going into the expansion or add-on, checking everything out. I write a script, so I try to make it, I put the extra effort in it so that way it's got a more long-lasting appeal for it. Well, it looks like we are getting close to the airport. So runway 36.
Tango Victor KDBQ approach. Squawk 1200.
I am squawking 1200.
Tango Victor, Roger. Squawk 1200. Tango Victor KDBQ approach. Radar contact.
Oh, there we go.
Victor KDBQ approach. Contact tower at 119.50. Today. Tango Victor, Roger. Contact tower at 119.50. KDBQ tower 412 Tango Victor. Request approach for landing. 412 Tango Victor KDBQ tower. Cleared for approach runway 36. Use left-hand pattern. Tango Victor, Roger. Clear for approach runway 36.
Whoops.
Use left-hand pattern.
Alright, left-hand pattern. You gotta use the other left. The airport like lights up. What does this say? I can't even read this. I don't even know what that says there. Probably low fuel or something. Engine on fire. That's what I did. I thought I did. Yeah, it doesn't... Gear warning. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Because I don't have my gear down. Well, yeah, I know my gear's not down. I'm not ready to have it down just yet. Do you notice how there's no Mississippi River anywhere? We should be able to see something. See if we can come around and land on 36 now. There it is. That was a much better landing than the previous flights.
Tango Victor KDBQ Tower contact ground at 121.80. Good day. Tango Victor, Roger. Contact ground at 121.80. Tango Victor is clear of the runway. Request taxi to terminal. 412 Tango Victor KDBQ ground. Taxi parking. 2 Tango Victor, Roger. Taxi to parking.
Hey, nothing like a tower out in the middle of the taxiway. That's just not good airport design right there. See, here's another thing. It gives you directions on the taxiway. Again, this is before Microsoft Flight Simulator did it. We didn't see that until 2002. So definitely, I think Microsoft was paying attention to what some of these other companies were doing and implemented them in the next simulator. All right, everyone, here we are at Dubuque, Iowa. And it's still raining. But you know what? I think we're going to hang out here for a little bit. We're going to wait for the weather to clear up, and then we'll head back out on our next leg of our journey. If you guys have been watching the World Tour on the other series, the other flight simulators, then you know just where we're going. And if you don't, I guess you'll find out on the next episode. I want to thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this flight, and I hope you're enjoying the series. So go ahead and leave a thumbs up, a like, leave some comments, and share the video, because it helps me out and the channel. Helps get that video out there, so that way people know that it exists. They know this series exists. And hey, they know that maybe someone else is actually playing Fly 2, like maybe they did back in the day. So help each other out. That's what the KILR community is all about. We're KILR awesome. We help each other out. And speaking of the KILR community, if you haven't subscribed, why not? You need to subscribe. You need to be part of the KILR community. So click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And it comes with bonuses. What kind of bonuses? Well, I don't know. Maybe a cookie. You get notifications of when videos are uploaded to the channel. So, subscribe. That's a good thing. Plus, it helps build up the community. That's what we want. We have a KILR awesome community. Let's make it even more awesome. And speaking of awesomeness, there is Twitch. And I don't mean twitching, I mean Twitch, as in live streaming, which is what I was doing on this episode while recording it. I don't do that for everything, and I don't always live stream what it is that I'm recording, and sometimes I live stream different types of things. But the point is, if you follow me over on Twitch, then you get to be a part of the show. As I'm recording them, you can fly with me. You can ask questions. You can just hang out and chat. Yeah, and you don't have to chat at all. You can just come on board and show up. You know, it's all good. I would love to have you there. Really would. You get to see this stuff weeks and months ahead of time, and you get to see it in its raw, unedited form as well. So when technical glitches and things happen, I cut that stuff out because I'm trying to keep things focused on the actual episode itself and not really waste time on technical issues. But you get to see all of those if and when they happen, because they do tend to happen with this particular simulator. So follow me on Twitch so you get to see all that, and you get to see other stuff as well. And then Instagram is a great thing, because if you'd like to see what's going on behind the scenes and projects and stuff that I'm working on, I take pictures and stuff of what it is that I'm doing. So head over to Instagram, follow me there. And Twitter I use for official news and announcements. It's a way for me to be able to stay connected with you folks. Snapchat is just for silly fun. And then Patreon for those of you who would like to take it a step further and be able to support me and what it is that I'm doing and help me make this channel grow, because I can't do it by myself. We need to do it together as a community. So take a look at what I've got over there on Patreon. I'm always going over there and revisiting it, looking at things to add and swap out and stuff. Different tier levels, different rewards and bonuses. Whatever you're willing to donate is appreciated. I love you for it, and you have my complete gratitude, because this is something that I love to do, and this is something that I would love to continue to do for all of you. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next leg of our exciting journey. Have a killer awesome day.